For most voters, casting a ballot tomorrow marks the end of this election cycle. But as McKenna Alexander explains, for election officials, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, now for months, county clerks around the nation have been working long hours to prepare, not just for tomorrow's midterm election, but for what may come after the polls close.
I've been warning them, plan for recounts. The polls are so close right now, just plan for it.
With several competitive races on Wisconsin's ballots tomorrow, the Rock County Clerk's Office is joining many others in preparing for what will follow Tuesday's election.
I'm making sure we order extra supplies, make sure we have enough extra ballot bags.
That extra preparation is a way of ensuring a smooth process should a recount take place.
Lots more workers because we have so many more ballots, and we're doing a lot more reporting units. There's a lot to look at. The clerks are really in the midst of also doing their budgets, and there's lots of other pieces to their job. So if they can be organized ahead of time, it makes things flow so much smoother.
According to Wisconsin's recount manual, if the vote totals for two candidate contests are separated by 1% or less, the candidate trailing the leading candidate has the right to petition for a recount. If the vote totals are separated by 0.25% or less, the petitioning candidate does not have to pay for the recount. It's important to note that Wisconsin does not have automatic recounts, even if the unofficial results are close. However, with tight races expected this election, county clerks say it's in poll workers' best interest to expect a recount will be petitioned.
There's a certain amount of paperwork that they need to bring into the county if we're having a recount, and they're preparing that now to make sure they're ready if it gets called. It just makes it faster.
Tollefson says if a recount takes place, she expects the process to be comparable to Rock County's 2016 presidential election recount, which took 10 days of work. It's a lengthy process, but one she says is beneficial to all voters.
A lot of times during the recount, we're explaining all the checks and balances that go through an election day and the checks and balances we do at the polls and at our recounts. And it's not just counting the ballots again, it's looking at all of the paperwork and reviewing all the inspector statements and all the rigorous pieces that we have in our system to make it work. So I think it's a good thing to go through and just show all the diligence in our jobs that we do.
So for everything that you need to know ahead of tomorrow's election, including polling locations and voter registration info, just visit myvote.wi.gov.